Hey, it's MJ and Kate live on Tuesday at 9 o'clock here on Rockford, Michigan, live at our world headquarters on March the 15th, 2022.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I wonder if my shirt reads forwards or backwards.
To me, it reads
on
forward.
The camera. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I see it on my phone. It's forwards. Make sure it's not backwards, but yep, world's largest leprechaun. So if you're joining us today, go ahead and enter something in the chat there and let us know where you're watching us from today. Do we have any local people or people from out of town? What's going on today? Kate, tell us a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, today is March 15th. I was told it's the Ides of March today. I don't know what that even means.
Yeah.
And I have a large feedback now, Michael J.
Oh, sorry.
You need to meet up your other computer.
It must be that thing right there. We'll go in and fix that.
Yeah. So in case anyone is wondering, I'm at my office wearing a winter coat because the heater is not working here and it's like 50 degrees outside. Or inside, not outside. I don't know what it is outside, cold. But it's St. Patrick's Day this week and it's going to be an exciting show. Michael J is going to share with us about Ireland and we get to talk about all the things St. Patrick's Day, which is why I'm wearing my silly shamrocks.
So something else happens in the month of March. What are a couple of other things that happened in the month of March? We had a show last week that kind of led into that, which is being the month of
women. It is the month of powerful women who are changing the world. Which is all of you women out there. All of you are changing the world, just so you know.
Are changing the world. Yep, that's absolutely right. So I dug through my slideshow, my pictures. I wanted to put up anything that was green. So there you go. Just a reminder that Kate and I do other things besides podcasts. So I work for Speaker Real Estate. I'm a licensed realtor here in the state of Michigan. I can help you buy, sell, or I can just help you put some information out so you can make some informed decisions. And Kate, you are also wearing green and in your office today. And tell us how you can help us out.
So most people think that their little piece of paper in their glove box is enough protection if the cop pulls you over for speeding. But if you want to have insurance that matters, you should reach out to me. I'm able to make sure that the insurance you have is actually protecting your assets, that if your family situation has, let's just say a bad day, your bad day doesn't need to have a lasting impact on your family. And we can help you with making sure that your insurance is correct. That's the best way to protect yourself and your home and your family and your assets.
Mentioned briefly that there was a big change here in Michigan, and we just received a postcard in the mail talking about that had your name and picture on the back. So what's something that we should know, in a very kind of small condensed version, other than we should probably call our agent and have a conversation, right?
Yeah, sure. Most of you who have car insurance will receive a refund from the Michigan Catastrophic Fund. It is not your insurance company. They are not giving you money out of their coffers. It's from the money you have paid for your unlimited injury protection over the last, however long you've been driving. They've done a refund, I believe, once before, and this is just another chance. For every vehicle that has liability coverage on it, you will be getting a $400 refund. And talk with your insurance provider. Every company is issuing them differently. Some are doing direct deposit, some are coming in a check in the mail to you. But that started rolling out in March, and it has to end by the middle of May. All of the refunds will be issued by the middle of May.
Fantastic. And if I haven't talked to my insurance agent in over a year, what should I do?
You should call your advisor. They will have lots of important information for you regarding your new liability exposure, because with choice comes change. And if you have changed your insurance in the last couple of years since auto reform, you may not be covered like you think you should be.
Okay. All right. So that's good. Good to know. Good to know. Good to check on that kind of stuff as you go forward. That you're always doing that. So um, I wanted to pick a bunch of stuff today that would be green, and so today I just want to let everybody know that I'm going green today.
Just
for
today.
today.
Michael J's only going green today.
So I'm going green today. But also during this month of March, there's something else that happens and people get super excited about. And what's that, Kate?
Well, real quick, I hope you find the picture of you and I when you're wearing your awesomely green, emerald green suit last week.
Oh, okay.
You should totally share that photo.
Yeah. I'll have to see. It's not in those images I uploaded.
Oh,
But
okay,
I'm gonna
that
pull it
would
up.
be
I'm gonna pull it up
confusing.
though. So
Okay.
you talk and
So,
I'll look for it.
Okay, perfect. Well, Michael J is finding that. So this week is the beginning of March Madness. So I'm not sure who participates in March Madness, but the brackets are ready to be filled out. I have picked only the first half. I usually end up with like Duke or something like that, winning the whole thing. What do you all do for your bracket picks? If you're listening to us, viewer, why don't you go ahead and put in the chat who you're picking to win March Madness? And if you have any kind of traditions in our family. I was telling Michael J earlier, we fill out a bracket, and the winner of that bracket gets to pick the family outing. And it's nice that our kids are getting older, because they're actually things that we also find to be fun and exciting if they happen to win. However, in the past, things like Diary of a Wimpy Kid in the theater, we've had to go watch, which I'm sure my son loved it, but not exactly my most favorite prize that was awarded. We've also gone to Dave and Buster's. We've had a bowling night. I'm really hoping that Teresa wins this year, because she wants us to go roller skating as a family, and we can never get Isaac to go. But if she wins, he has no choice. He'll have to go roller skating, and we'll have to do that as a family. So yeah. Make sure you get those brackets filled out, and if you're a betting person, make sure you're choosing wisely.
So who's going? Did you reveal your picks?
So
Can you minimize that bracket?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Because some reason it won't
There we
let me
go.
do it. Oh, you took it all the way down. I guess it was depending on how you were sharing
It's
it.
an overlay. I don't know how else.
Oh, overlay. Oh, I see what you did. Okay.
Yeah, but now we're funny. Like there we go. Now that's more normal. I don't know. I have Kentucky going to the championship, and probably I'm going to have LSU on the other side of the bracket, which that's kind of a reach. They are not a top seed, I don't think. But then Kentucky's going to win the whole thing. That's my prediction.
That's your prediction. So we're going to put it down. It's going to be the 3/15/2022. Kate predicts Kentucky.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's filled out.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to go make a mock-up one and see. So if I win, then the Landis family has to take me out.
Perfect. You know that the Landis family does need to take the Williams family out, because last year at St. Patrick's Day, we got to eat dinner at Michael J's house, and he and Sherry are amazing cooks. We had the best dinner in a very long time. It's still probably one of my number one dinners I've ever eaten. So
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll be having it probably again. I don't know. meal, though. Although I did see a picture of your son, and so he'd probably be embarrassed if he heard this, but it's been about a year since we've seen him in person, live and in person, and so he's gone from like late teen boy to early young man boy.
He totally has. He's definitely not my baby anymore, Michael J.
His face is like changed, like that.
Uh-huh.
So, Kate, you said something about you wanted to see our little picture here.
Yes.
So here we are out and about. And so if you are watching live, you can go ahead and put that in the comments. If you're watching on the replay, put it in the comments now below so we know where you are. But here we are in green and red. It was not Christmas time. This was actually this week. And so we were at the Civic Theater fundraising event. And we got to meet some amazing people that were interested in the theater.
It was such a good opportunity to hear what's going on in theater. And there was a girl that shared a story with us about what theater has done for her and her confidence and the community that it brought together. If you didn't have a weepy, teary eye, then I'm going to just throw it out there that you have no soul. So it was just so moving. And that's exactly why Teresa loves the theater too. It is her place that makes her feel most at home.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about history of St. Patrick's Day. So I have a little video. I'm going to play that real quick. That just sort of gives a quick history. It's not like by any means earth-shattering kind of thing, but it's from the History Channel, so we'll give it a little bit of thumbs up for being somewhat accurate. So, because when you're talking about something that started back in 712 or whatever it was, details get lost in the mix. So here's the video from the History Channel.
People around the world don their best green attire every March 17th to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But there is a lot we bet you didn't know about Ireland's patron saint. To start with, St. Patrick wasn't even Irish. He was born around the 5th century in Britain, then part of the Roman Empire. At 16, he was kidnapped by Irish raiders and spent 6 years in captivity. He converted to Christianity and later returned to Ireland to spend the rest of his life working as a Christian missionary. After Patrick died on March 17, 461, he was largely forgotten until mythology and legend grew, and centuries later he was honored as the patron saint of Ireland. According to one famous myth, Patrick drove all the snakes from Ireland. The story symbolized Patrick cleansing the island of paganism. There's just one problem. Ireland never had any snakes to begin with. The Emerald Isle is surrounded by water too frigid for snakes to migrate there, whether from Britain or anywhere else. According to another famous story, Patrick used the 3 leaves of the shamrock to explain the Holy Trinity. As a result, people in 18th century Ireland started wearing shamrocks on March 17th to signify their Irish Christian pride. That tradition later grew into wearing green clothing, a popular St. Patrick's Day custom today. Though shamrocks don't really exist, we know them as any one of several 3-leaf plants, such as wood sorrel or white and yellow clover. As important as St. Patrick is to Irish history, we bet you didn't know the tradition of celebrating March 17th with parades actually started in America. The parade tradition really took off after the Great Potato Famine hit Ireland in the 1840s, sending hundreds of thousands of Irish immigrants pouring into New York, Boston, and other American cities. The first record of a St. Patrick's Day parade in New York dates to 1762, when a group of Irish soldiers serving with the British marched a few blocks to a tavern in Lower Manhattan. Today, it's the largest and longest St. Patrick's Day parade, boasting close to 200,000 participants and nearly 3 million spectators each year. So this March 17th, we hope you'll be wearing green and toasting to some St. Patrick's Day history that we bet you didn't know.
So what'd you think about that? Here we are. The only green I have on is my beads, because I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on, but they dyed the river in Chicago green, which is something they do periodically every year. But during COVID, they weren't going to do it, and so 2020 they didn't dye the river. In 2021, they were hadn't planned on dyeing the river, but they went ahead and did it anyway and didn't tell anybody because that way they thought maybe the crowds would be light. But there's a picture of us with on the river. So
And Grand Rapids has a celebration too that hopefully will be back next year. It's the Michigan's largest Irish festival called Irish on Ionia. I have not yet participated, and they canceled again this year due to the pandemic. So hopefully it's back again next year. There's live music, and we don't have any green rivers though. We just have the normal color river.
the normal cover river. So St. Patrick's Day really started more as celebrating the Trinity, really, and the fact that Christianity came to Ireland. But then, much like the video said, when things came about during time, then there was going there. So it looks like somebody popped on to look at the world's largest tallest leprechaun. So just for a short time there. So, hey, shout out to Sherry. I don't know if you're watching the whole thing, but there you go. So you can do that. So you mentioned, Kate, something about food. And so that can be a large part of a celebration for many people. And so I usually like to go with a little bit of tart, or we call this it's like a layered cake, but more like trifle. That's what I was looking for. I can't think of the word. So this one is made with whipped cream and pistachio pudding and brownies.
Yum.
Yeah, so it's just layers of brownies. So brownies, pistachio, pudding, cream. I think there are some fruits in there, and then etc. So it's the most simple dessert that you can make, in a multitude of varieties that looks very impressive in a bowl. Glass bowl. So it's just something that just always looks great. So I told everybody online that we'd be making a Irish pub salad, and so there are some key ingredients that you need for the Irish pub salad. And first of all is romaine lettuce, but what you need is a large head of Napa cabbage. Hey, can you hear me? Napa cabbage. Yeah. Did have my microphone down. So the Napa cabbage, you're going to cut up really fine, and it's one of the most or least acidic cabbages. So it has a very nice flavor to it with the romaine lettuce. And then here you got your cherry tomatoes, your onions, your cucumbers, and then a traditional Irish salad is going to have pickled beets in it and pickled green beans, as well as this Irish cheddar cheese and some deviled eggs. And that's pretty much what would consist of your typical pub salad that you would find in any Irish pub. And now the dressing that goes along with it is a tarragon mayo-based dressing. So if you're going to make that, you just need about a cup of mayonnaise. You need a little squirt of spicy yellow mustard, not a dark brown mustard, but like a yellow mustard. And along with that, a couple of teaspoons of wine vinegar. Use like a white balsamic or something, and then the fresh tarragon diced in there, and then maybe some salt and pepper, and that's kind of the consistency of your mayonnaise tarragon dressing. Ta-da!
So what do you think came first, Michael J? The Greek salad or the Irish pub salad? Because I see a lot of similarities.
Yeah. I don't really have a definition on that, though. They could have been about the same time, but these are basically,
and they're both delicious.
Things. Yeah, these are basically things that you would see, like, okay, so green beans and beets you would grow in season, right? And then you'd probably can them. So these were things that you would have around pretty much for the whole kind of year. And same thing with like onions can be in the cellar for a long time. Tomatoes not so much, but these are things that they would just have on hand. And of course, they had plenty of milk, goat, sheep, milks to make all kinds of cheeses and things like that, and the chicken. So I think that's a big part of it. So, and you said that you came for a what was it, like, fun menu? So this is typical St. Patrick's Day menu at my house. We usually have shamrock chips, golden pot salsa, green veggies, lucky cream dip, and then we usually have our corned beef, cabbage, carrots, potatoes. We have kids, so we have hot dogs, macaroni and cheese on there, and then bangers and mash, which would be more like a sausage. And then for dessert, we have that leprechaun brownie trifle that we showed earlier. So that's a typical St. Patrick's menu in our house that we like to celebrate with.
I'm pretty sure you should have been an event planner at some point in your life, because you definitely know how to throw a good shindig and like all the details and everything. I'm like, hey, show up. That's all the detail I put into it. Come over. I like people. Come on over.
I'm looking for a couple other pictures here. This would have been 2006. So these are a couple of babies
those
here.
Young kids.
Couple of young kids enjoying life in Ireland. We are in kind of, we consider like a little north of middle of the country center. So this lake is massive that's here. And we just had our sweet little picture. You wouldn't even know like where we were, like just looking at the picture, you would be like, oh, that could be Colorado, or no, it's Ireland.
It's beautiful.
So, and there's a famous, we went to a sheep farm. This guy had to try on a hat. So
he
didn't have a beard then, and he weighed a lot more too. But something we would see from the train or driving around is you would look across the country and, everything's green pretty much in Ireland. So if it's pretty much green, you can expect that it's probably going to rain. So yeah, it's rain and cloudy a lot there, but you would see these big patches of yellow up on the hills and different places. And so we'd ask people, what's the yellow? What's the yellow? And so it is, she's with Kate on Growing Up. Sherry is.
Yeah.
She's just showing up. So, but the yellow was, I think it was pronounced Rafe. But it's sort of like think of it like sunflowers.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but it's a crop they would make oils out of. So here's a beautiful lady that loved this tree that dipped down with this big thing, and so she just wanted her picture there. I'm not sure who she was, but she was beautiful, so I had to take a picture of her.
I think she might be famous.
Yeah. Oh, she clarified. Rape seeds is what they were.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. She was almost famous as Katie O'Clair, who is the Irish person that most people have heard their name of. And here's a statue of Katie O'Clair down in downtown Dublin, and so there's Sherry next to her. And then when we talked about churches earlier, it was crazy to walk into some of these churches that might have been actual churches that St. Patrick had stood in, because these things have been around since 200, 300 AD, like literally they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And some of them, this was one that we went to that had, this was about all that's left of the altar area. And of course the stones down here were actually part of, in the hearth of the, I don't know, today we call it a stage, but where they would bury the bishops and things like that. So still kind of like a grave kind of thing. So here's some graveyard. And again, the stones are so old that they're not even, some of them aren't even the shapes that they used to be, and they're really hard to read. But when you think of the Celtic cross, so this cross with a circle in it is we would call a Celtic cross. And so since a lot of since St. Patrick came to evangelize to the unchurched, or as we would call it today, or non-Christians, into Christianity, sun worship was something that was quite popular in the early days, and they had the sun god. And so rumor has it is that this sort of Celtic cross came of the convergence, or of the two different popular religions at the time, Christianity and the worship of the sun god. And so that they could kind of make the connection with the people that there is one God. He's the sun god, and he's the Christian God. So that's a little bit of what the Celtic cross
So I found a picture of the rapeseed plant.
Okay.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. So
Like,
imagine a
that's really
field
pretty.
like just across the whole, just across the whole thing. Put that picture up again that you had.
Oh,
I think
sure.
it'll overlay on top. There you go. Well, it's in the middle, but
Yeah, I don't know how to move it. Can we move
yeah,
it? Probably not.
I don't. Yeah, we could probably go like this. I think.
Oh,
there you
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you can't see me, but it's okay. There we
There
go.
we go. Look at us. Every
Look
week
at
we're learning a new thing.
Something new and techie, right? So
Yeah.
so this little plant up there on the hill, just imagine like hundreds of those, and rape, kind of like grape, RAPE.
Yep.
Seed. Yeah. So beautiful, right?
It's really pretty.
Yeah. So I think that was all the stills that I had that I was going to share.
So for our listeners from Rockford, then we should probably share the upcoming event that's this weekend.
I did have something that was because I said I threw all things green from my thing up there. So my wife's been missing now about a week, and the police said that I should prepare for the worst. So I had to go down to Goodwill and get all her clothes back. Is she on? Is she still watching? But it was green, so I had to pick it.
I mean, I feel like you did. You just had to. And I wonder if it's like a legitimate limerick, too. Did you have to write limericks in school, Michael J? I remember.
If we did, I don't remember what they were called.
Oh, yeah. I remember having to write it. I don't remember the rules, though, for limericks. There's like, it has to rhyme so many syllables per line.
Exactly. So I remember that a friend of mine in high school, I said, hey, in first period, I got this thing coming up in third period, and I'm having trouble, and just give me some ideas, So he gave me these ideas, and so I'm like, oh, well, that sounds really good. I'll write it down. Well, little to find out that when everybody got their paper back the following week, I didn't get my paper back. And I was like, I didn't get my paper back. Oh, can you meet me in the hallway? So apparently I was accused of plagiarism because my friend had entered that exact same thing in a contest. It actually got published in a minor publication, like a college publication or something. Yeah. So
that's funny. He's like, yeah, here, use this. Well,
use this. Well, I just thought we were just brainstorming ideas. So yeah, look what my wife has to live with, she says. Well, at least you're our viewer today.
Jerry, you can always come down and visit.
Everybody else is going to be in the replay today. So, So, okay. So what's going on in Rockford? There's a hunt, right?
There is a leprechaun hunt. The chamber is throwing on a leprechaun hunt, but I don't really know the details because my kids are too big, and that's nerdy, Michael J, for the big kids. Yeah. It's really not, though. For the record, it's not. Everyone should do it. I think it's fun. During COVID, I totally participated in whatever that's when I feel like they started the hunts.
Right.
And I did them, and my kids thought I was really lame, but to each his own. But it is the Rockford Community Expo this week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. This was the very first weekend that we found out what Rockford Festival was. So go ahead with your thought, and then I'll add on.
Oh, sure. So the Rockford Community Expo is this Saturday, March 19th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rockford High School. Usually there's 150 different businesses that are there educating the consumer on their product, their services. Is Speaker Real Estate going to be there, Michael J?
We were just there this fall because we were kind of held over for a couple of years, but we won't have a booth this go around.
This time. And this year, this spring, the expo is bringing back one of the favorite installations that they have every year, and they usually have like dance studios come and the band will perform, and the musical that's going on at that time does a little performance. So shameless plug for high school musical on stage happening at Rockford. The cast will be there performing. I don't know what number. I just know that they'll be there performing.
Yeah, yeah. So that was our very first year we moved here in 2017. The kids were like, we were like, oh, it's this thing on the calendar that we have that's for the kids. It's like, oh, it's some kind of show. They got to go and sing at the high school. Okay, let's go. And so we go, and then we have no idea what this expo is, or what's going on. All we knew was you're supposed to bring the kids to sing or something. So having just moved here, it was like at the perfect time for us to have done that. And so we actually ended up meeting a lot of great people at the expo, such as Dr. C's at the
Mm.
Florida Family Eye Care Clinic, who is down on 10 Mile Road in front of the Meijer. And he became our eye doctor, because why would you not want to go see a doctor sees about your eyes?
Right? I mean, that's just amazing. He's our eye doctor too,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. So
Um,
we went. So we met him. We also met Dr. Alt, who's at Rockford Pediatrics, and she has become our pediatric doctor there at in front of the family fair. So that's their
oh,
offices over
mhm.
there. So we've met quite a few services at the expo. Hanks from Hanks Heating and Air has done our air conditioning. So yeah, so check them out on Saturday. Lots of great things to get out, and free stuff for the kids, I think. So they can do
Yes,
that.
yes.
So we are close to the end. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna find that video that you wanted. So so it's all you.
Oh, so I'm going to do the outro. Perfect, Michael J. That's awesome. I love being put on the spot. I believe in a couple weeks we are going to have a very special visitor, Dan Coonley. He is a great friend of both Michael J. and myself, and he's going to be sharing some silly thoughts and ideas, and it's just going to be a fun show. I can't wait for that. And did I mention to you that I'm freezing? My body is not designed to be cold, and I'm going to be working from home the rest of the day because I can't tolerate a 50-degree office, and I keep sniffling. So, um, let's see, what else can I share with you? Oh, get your tickets to High School Musical this Thursday. They have a show, and there are lots of great seats. Go to Rockford High School Theater Department Facebook page, and there will be a link there. You can go to my Facebook page. There's a link there. Yeah, so hopefully Michael J found that video, because I'm just he's psyching me out. He did not find it.
No, I did find it. I got it. I got it.
Oh,
We're ready to. I'm ready to roll it here in just a second. So, have fun. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Wear your green. My mother always bought green for my brother, although she said not to out her on video anymore. But she never bought me green, so I ended up getting pinched at school. What was that about getting pinched anyway? If you weren't wearing green, but so I think my brother Barry was the only one that wasn't traumatized. All his clothes were green. And usually a teacher would feel sorry for me and cut me out a little construction paper shamrock. So
oh, perfect. I don't think kids can get away with
Oh,
pinching in school anymore. I think they're
no,
safe
no, it's
now.
like that'd be considered bullying, right? Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
nowadays. So, well, thanks so much for joining us. If you were here live, wow, thanks. And so, if not, then you can see us on the replay. Oh, Monica, thanks for joining in. Monica was here for a little while, and also Jack. I know who you are now, Jack. This is Jack Watson, and he is a fellow. Is a fellow server. I was a fellow server at the Magic Kingdom. He's working with Monica. Great to see you guys tuning in today. So here's the video you requested on the outro, and we'll go ahead and play it. So see you guys.
Bye, everybody.
You are beautiful. You are smart. You are funny. You are kind. You are unique. You are worthy of love and affection. You are never too much, and you are always enough. You are precious. You are a diamond, a rose, a pearl, the most stunning of all God's creation. You are worth more than you could ever imagine. Worth more than the numbers on the scale, or the hair product you use, or the shoes you wear. More than how many girls wish they were you, or how many guys wish they had you. More than the price tags on your clothes, or the percentage at the top of your math test, or even the number of followers you have on Twitter. Your worth surpasses all earthly things, because in the eyes of the Lord God, you are loved, and you are worth dying for. Regardless of who you think you are, whether you model in a magazine or you model pottery with grandma, whether you're on the hot list or the not list, whether you're head cheerleader or a high school dropout, whether you're Miss Popular or you've never had anyone you could call a friend, whether you love yourself and love your life, or you can't stand to look in the mirror and you feel as if everything in your life is falling apart, whether you're such a winner or you feel like the world's biggest failure, regardless of who you think you are, the reality is that you deserve someone who would give up their life for you, because you are powerful and strong and capable. Read about the women in the Bible: Esther, Ruth, Martha, Mary. These women changed the world forever, and inside of you, each and every one of you is a woman with that same power and that same strength and that same world-changing capability, and your responsibility is to find that woman and to set that woman free. This is who you are. And any voices in your mind that try and tell you differently are from the enemy. And the next time you hear them, this is what you say. You say, "Nuh-uh, not me, Satan. I am a daughter of the living God, cherished, loved, and adored above all things by the Creator of all things, for the glory of Him who is greater than all things. I am awesome." And please, don't you forget it.